Oh, this is great. Did you see the size of that chicken?
Snapchat for business. 5 ways it sucks, and 5 ways is pretty good. Okay, so a lot of you out there are playing with Snapchat now, and I'll admit, I'm right on there, and I've made many of the mistakes that I'm about to talk about here.
My brain is so big, but I don't think so good.
Let's start with a couple of the obvious things. Time. Now, I don't have a whole lot of people that I follow, but at any one moment in time, you look down at my phone and I've got 40 or 50 people and I have their stories inside of my Snapchat. Now, most of those people post 4 to 5, some way more than that, but 4 to 5 snaps each individually, taking about 5 to 10 seconds. So anyway, you start to strap this math down, and just 40 people at 4 to 5 or 4 to 6 seconds per snap comes out to about 30 minutes to an hour just to go through those people in my story that are in my list. I don't have that kind of time. I don't know about you, but I can't go through that time not knowing what it is that I'm going to get, just watching going, oh, what are they doing today? And then it's you playing with your dog. I don't need to see that. Or good, that's a picture of what you ate for dinner last night. All interesting, but not something that I can really engage in from a business standpoint. There are those who say that's good and it shows, give you a window into your life. And I'll talk about that in a second. But the time is so valuable that I just don't have the time to say an hour or 2 per day, if I look at it more than once, to be able to dedicate it to total randomness, whether I get something out of it or whether I don't. Then there are those that use it as a platform to go way long. It's 10, 20, 30 snaps back to back to back to back, covering a different topic. And a lot of it sounds like a skipping record. You go, well, I want to cover the one point. Sorry, I got cut off that last time. What I was trying to say was, I got cut off again. What I was trying to say is like, yeah, you're killing me.
You talking to me? You talking to me? Do I amuse you? Do I make you laugh?
It's like a broken record. So it takes too much time, it's too much randomness. But then that second piece of why it sucks is the engagement. A lot of you out there will say, well, you can see exactly who's watching your videos. And that's true to an extent, but are they really watching? Are they really engaged? Are they really looking at it? That's a little bit harder to tell because of the third reason, and that's because of the tap through. I can sit there and I could just go blindly and tap through the stories and not listening to a word, not even looking at the phone. I can just sit there and randomly tap. Now, what that does, going back to the engagement piece, is it gives you the impression that I've looked at your snap when I haven't. Really, I just kind of tapped through. It also gives me the false impression that you actually looked at mine, knowing that you did that exact same thing back to me.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
So it's a little bit misleading about who actually watches it. It's a little bit like those Facebook views for video. I mean, it counts as a view if it started and it goes for 1 or 2 seconds as you're scrolling through the screen. And then people say, oh, look how many views I have on Facebook. Yeah, that's not exactly a very accurate measure because it just happened to open as you were flying past it looking for something else. So the next piece are the filters. We all have the same ones. They're fun. I get that. That's one of the things that's good. Touch in a second. But the filters, everybody has the same thing. The zombie face, the dog. Really, seriously, I'm tired of the dog. I'm tired of the licking thing. But everybody gets the same one. So when you put yours out there and it's just a picture of you in that same thing, I don't think that's very interesting. I've seen some people do some really creative things with that by doing their entire snap in whatever filter, and that's interesting. But
hey, yo, you want to learn some self-defense techniques? Follow my instruction in super slow motion. I won't fight back, but you'll learn a lot.
There's so many people are not doing it very well that I can't spend the time to justify it. So the second piece is that the creation time that it takes to go through this. So if you've gone through and you've put the filters and the emojis and all these little pieces and parts onto that, it takes a few seconds. It takes a few minutes even sometimes, depending, the phone rings and you stop and then you go back and, okay, let me finish this up real quick. And you're adding color and no, let me add one more thing. And I don't like that. I take it away. So this takes time from you, the person doing the Snapchat, that I just don't think most of us have today. So it's less important to do the filters and less important to do those things in order to have that real engagement, which is what we're all trying to go for. So those are some of the things I think that suck. But the things that are good is it's fun. It's just straight up fun to play with the filters and to play with all these different things. It's fun. But that doesn't really fit a model of Snapchat for business in that it's fun for you to play around with. My kids absolutely adore it, and they're all under 5, by the way. So they love it. They love doing the silly faces, as they call it. They want to do them all the time and see themselves and do all that kind of stuff. And I don't post most of those, just play around with the app. So that's fun. That's really cool. But I don't know how effective that is for business. The second part, and this is really good for business, is it allows you to meet people. I have met a bunch of people certainly early on, and you get introduced to different people through Snapchat, and you find a little window into their life, and it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, this is cool. But what ends up being more important are the individual one-on-one snaps going back and forth to people, not just randomly, here's what I'm doing today, hope you all want to watch. Because quite frankly, I don't. I don't really want to, I don't want to get involved in that drama of your everyday life. It's a good place to rant, but sometimes that just isn't effective from a business standpoint. So the next part about what it's good about Snapchat is the fact that it is personalized and it's kind of raw. Like this video I'm going to do at one shoot. So you get that raw vision. You get that raw person. You don't get a lot of takes. Now, sometimes you'll screw something up and you'll take it, but I also find it amusing sometimes for those that don't. They just push that and send it. That's good too. So it's a very good thing that you had that personalization, you had that raw element, that non-perfected, that you don't have the studio lights in the background in some of those things. So it's very personalized. You feel more connected to the person in some way, shape, or form. I get that. I feel that. So that's definitely a good thing. And then the next thing that's also good is that it goes away. Where it's also bad that it goes away because you spend so much time creating the content on there that once it's gone, it's gone. And yeah, you can save it and then put it back together in the form of a movie and put it on YouTube. And I've done that with limited success, and I don't know that that's necessarily effective. But the fact that it does go away actually allows you to try some things. So you can get feedback. You can ask for differing opinions. You can ask for different things and see what comes back. And that can allow you to kind of change your mind and evolve your opinion, evolve your strategy, evolve your business practice as you go in kind of an open public forum that doesn't have a whole lot of strings to it. It's going to stay around forever. It's not like something that you have to go back and delete, and once it's on Facebook, the whole world has it, that type of thing. So that's a very good thing from a business standpoint, and it allows you to kind of work your process openly with the feedback of others. So lastly is that it's a small community so far. When you talk about the overall numbers of social media, when Facebook is at what, 1.6 billion, I mean, we're talking a massive percentage of the planet. I mean, 1/6 to 1/7 of the planet is on Facebook at one point in time. And a very big chunk of that is on Facebook every day. So that's huge. Twitter is also huge. There's still a lot of people there, but you know, the engagement's gone really down. The marketers are there and they've kind of taken over, which is some of the things that I see coming down the line with Snapchat, just people doing constant commercial. And it's going to be a little tougher, I think, going forward to stand out and have actual value to make people want to follow you and want to watch your stuff. But those are some of the things that I think about Snapchat as it goes today. I think it still is a very valuable asset, but most of us, myself included, haven't really figured out how to use it and how to utilize it to the best of its ability when it comes to using it for our business purposes. So I kind of don't use it for a business purpose. Yeah, I talk some business on there. I do some silly stuff. I mean, I make all kinds of faces and I do a pretty good sling blade, stuff like that. But hey, I don't know exactly what this is going to turn into, but I know it's not turned into a lot of direct things that have come back to me. I know it's very, very early yet, but it's very hard to see as people are doing it and as it gets more involved and as people start following me and I start following them and I see what they're doing, I see what they're posting, it's kind of turning into Twitter. And a lot of people are just going on, you know, minutes and minutes of rants, 10 seconds at a time, 10 seconds at a time, 10 seconds at a time.
How do you get to the next level? Well, you got to get to the next level to get to the next level. You got to know somebody at the next level so they can tell you how to get to the next level. You got to know what you do in order to get to the next level.
But I just don't have the time for that because I'd rather have those face-to-face or one-on-one snap situations where you're going back and forth between individuals to develop a deeper relationship that way. I'd rather do it that way, but Snapchat is interesting. It's fun. I'm there. I'm still there. You can find me at Forrest Selby. Same thing, same name as here. I don't want to put that snap code on here in post-production. But go out there, play around with Snapchat, see what you think. Let me know if you found some of these same things. If you're seeing some of these same things that I'm seeing when it comes to Snapchat. I'd love to hear about it in the comments, or hit me up on Snapchat. All right, guys. Thank you again for watching. We will see you next time.